All right, so welcome back to the Fix Podcast. Nara here, Ari here, Javi here. Joining us in the building, the A&R manager at Warner Records. Am I getting the title right?
Yes, you're
okay,
correct.
there we go. Miss Reyna Press.
Yes.
There we go.
Hey, Reyna.
Bless up, Reyna. Bless up, Reyna. Bless up, Reyna.
Should I say congrats? How long you have your post though?
5 years now.
Oh, no, congrats.
Okay, okay.
Welcome.
I still appreciate it though.
Like you've been promoted for a while now.
Yes.
Because you started out as a PR, A&R assistant.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I started at Atlantic Records as an assistant, and I worked my way up and have been afforded the opportunity to work with a lot of bigger artists now. So.
Okay.
So who are some of the artists that you've worked with?
Currently I work with Teejay.
No, not at Warner. I want to know a little bit of the history.
Oh, okay. So at Atlantic, so when I was assisting, I was on Cardi B's project and another artist named Partisan Fontaine.
Oh,
Yeah, Partisan is a big writer, and so it was.
We know him as Meg's boyfriend.
Okay.
No, Jada's boyfriend.
Right now, Jada's
wow.
Yes. Yeah, so I did a lot of assistant work. Like I would check him in to his Airbnbs. I cooked dinner for him one time. Like
for party?
Yeah, like real assistant work, like getting coffee, setting up meetings. I made like a shrimp pasta or something like that.
Of course, it's pasta.
Easy 1 tree.
Women and pasta.
Pasta not really easy, you know.
Thank you.
It's not
Thank
easy.
you. I made the
okay?
sauce from scratch.
I mean the
and
sauce.
tried. Yes.
You Latina?
I'm Spanish and Caribbean.
Okay.
Oh.
You cannot qualify
Which
as Latina.
Caribbean?
My grandparents are from Belize.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So that probably tastes nicer.
Yeah.
It's not Italian. It's Spanish.
Goes to the
guy.
Caribbean there.
Yeah.
So you real assistant work.
Yes, they had to cook for him and
Yeah, so it was like we checked him into Airbnb and we set up like an in-house studio because that's where he was recording at the time, and there was like no grocery stores around the house. It was just a long day, and I was like, you know what, like I'm gonna just make dinner, and it turned out good. He liked it.
So you started out, so like say as you said, like A&R at Atlantic,
An assistant.
an assistant A&R at Atlantic. So you kind of you were probably, is it safe to say, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like grunt work really, like you were doing
Yeah.
the task of like helping them,
Yeah,
like,
so
make them them surrounding comfortable,
right.
like.
So in the music industry, we call it paying dues.
Mhm.
So you really start from the ground up. Like it doesn't matter who you know, where you came from. Like you're doing coffee runs, setting up meetings, taking notes in meetings, like following after the artist if your boss or whoever is like, you know, your superior is asking you to do so. Like I just wanted to extend myself in any aspect because I like to say that I'm a sponge and I'm willing to like take up any knowledge and just do not whatever, but what it takes to like make it to the next level.
That whatever is
Yeah.
It can get walky. So you have
We're seeing it
to
now.
clear that up.
We're seeing it now.
To clear that up.
Because I mean,
Right?
I'm sure you're updated with the news that's happening where
Yeah.
people have to do whatever.
Oh
they
yeah,
feel like it.
100%.
But
Right.
you've always wanted to be in music. I mean, were your aspirations to like be in the forefront, like a singer?
So a little
Rapper,
backstory.
I'm
I was going to college for sociology because everyone in my family does music, and I was like, I'm not gonna do it. Like, I'm sick of you guys. We sit at Christmas dinner talking about records. I'm going to do something else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like what?
Like sociology. I want to be a sociologist.
No, I mean, everybody in your family.
Oh,
so like,
yeah. So my dad is in a group called The Temptations. My godfather created The Temptations.
No,
No, you're not gonna.
World-renowned Temptations?
Yes.
Really?
Smokey.
Who they met the movie ever?
Yeah. So I actually grew up around Smokey Robinson and all those groups like that. I remember getting my diaper changed in the studio and being on tour and stuff like that. Like,
You're supposed to be a star, girl.
But I can't sing.
I know. Oh, she just casually.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
was in the temptation.
I didn't even want to be around these bums. That's the impression she give off. Real.
my God,
Yeah.
that
These
started the
lamos.
temptation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Being around them, we're
Yeah.
just
Say like
sick
you
of
know
it.
like Smokey and them people.
Yeah, I grew up around those type of people. Like, there's, I forgot the name, slipping my mind, but there's a famous set of brothers that like teach dance, and I used to be in rehearsal with my dad and them. Like, I don't know, I just was there. Like, my mom was there, I was there, we were just there, and so I guess it's in my blood.
But see, it's funny because usually when you're around it so much, like you get to love it and you really want to do it too. But then you're
Yeah.
like, I'm sick of this. No.
But when you see someone like my dad travel 48 weeks out of a 52-week year, you kind of wonder, like, is that what I really want to do on the entertainment side?
Yeah.
So the flip was the executive route. So that's what I'm taking now.
No, but you know, I know you're not telling me where your father is. You ain't know what to tell me where your father be like, him and ask you.
His name is Ron Tyson.
Ron Tyson. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So my entire family's in the industry. My brothers, yeah, that's my dad.
Okay, nice.
My brother's actually president of North America Warner Chapel. My other brother is EVP of Urban A&R at Republic, and my mom is in TV and film. She just actually did the film and music contracts for the Bob Marley movie at Paramount. So
Wow.
yeah.
So how much of it was them pushing you in that direction versus you just automatically ending up?
So that's the part of the story. So when I was going to school, I wanted to do sociology, and then I was kind of like, this isn't really what I'm going to do, and no one actually pushed me into it. But when I came home from school, I was just taking care of my grandmother because she was ill, and I was like, I can't do that forever, so I have to figure out something else to do. And I would go to my brother's office and sit in the lobby and not tell him I was there, and just wait for his assistant to come upstairs and get me so I could talk to him about getting a job. And he didn't believe me at first. He was like, I'm not just gonna give you a job. So I would just sit there like I was begging for a record deal, like help me, I need something like to do. Dad is killing me. Like yeah. So then he eventually, after he saw that I was serious, he connected me with a guy named Daryl Jones at Atlantic, and I had to ring down his phone too to get an opportunity. I was like chasing him down, calling him at 3:00 in the morning, doing whatever he needed to do before, because he was a night owl. He worked at night.
Okay.
So yeah, let me clear that up.
I'm like, the man is sleeping.
Right?
No.
Rena's like, I must check his schedule.
He was never sleeping.
Wow.
But I had to also show him that I was serious, and then he gave me the opportunity to be his assistant.
Okay, so that's where you started at Atlantic there.
100%,
Okay.
yeah.
So it's fair to say you're a Nepo baby.
I don't like that term.
And Nepo babies never usually do.
But let me tell you one thing. Call me nepotism baby if you like, but they can walk me in the door, but they can't keep the job for me.
No.
That's true. There's nothing wrong with it. Like,
Yeah.
it's up to you to be able to perform at the end of the day.
Right. And I've been there 5 years, so I'm doing something right.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were the assistant to the A&R, you said. So that means that, so you said that you worked with Cardi B and Pardison Fontaine. So is that you were assigned to them in a sense?
So my boss was their A&R. So I assisted him. So whatever pertained to him, to those artists in terms of like travel, deliverables, which is like audio, lyrics, different mixes, the masters, I was the one turning it in for him. So he would like turn it over to me, and then I had to make sure that on the label side we were good and cleared for release dates.
Okay.
So
Because in my brain I was like, wouldn't that more be you be more getting the coffee and cooking for the A&R because you're the assistant to the A&R.
Yeah, so he was traveling a lot and he was always in the studio. So sometimes I would be in LA with them and then he wouldn't be. So I would just like kind of like step in for the things that he would normally be doing.
Okay, because Cardi and Party are located in New York.
Yeah, but sometimes originally I was located in LA. I'm from LA, but then I just recently moved to New York. So I was doing things in LA.
So how long you stayed at Atlantic?
I was there for under a year.
Under a year.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's where you moved immediately to Warner, or you had other stuff?
No, I moved immediately to Warner because we're all under one umbrella. So I just kind of like did a lateral transfer.
Oh.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you know, I'm glad you said that because I sometimes you think that they're so different,
Right.
but I'm realizing that they're all a conglomerate, like this major monopoly, like everybody affected. Because even the UMG signing, like so many people who aren't signed to Universal are affected. So it's like one major group.
Right. So for our group, it's Warner Music Group in totality, and then underneath is like Warner Records, Atlantic Records, ADA, Warner Chapel, like all of those little entities underneath.
So is one better than the other, or is one more prestigious? Is one more prestigious signing than the other versus, example, like being signed to Warner versus Atlantic?
I don't think that it is. I just think that different companies are better at different things. We all have our specialties, and Warner Records might be better at pop music. Atlantic might be more predominant in hip hop. It just depends. Like, and honestly, in my opinion, it's just your outlook as an artist. Like, whatever suits you is where you should go.
Yeah.
So tell us how you worked your way up to A&R manager.
Right.
Was just paying dues and you're just accumulating those years?
Honestly, I don't know what the real requirements are to be promoted in a sense, but I was just a person that was diligent and like willing to help and do whatever I could. So I would source records. I would help my boss that I had at the time with travel, whatever he needed me to do. I just made sure that I was there for him and he could count on me.
Okay.
And with that just comes more responsibility. And I feel like I was afforded an opportunity where they felt like I could handle more responsibility, which enabled me to be promoted.
How old are you?
I'm 29 years old.
Cool.
Yeah.
Pretty young. Yeah.
You know what I ask? I mean, for those who don't know, because before me never did know, but what's A&R and what do you do?
So A&R is artist and repertoire, and essentially we discover talent, sign talent, develop talent, and deliver audio. Anything that has to do with the artist musically, sonically, we are doing all of those things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what goes into like the scouting process?
I think every A&R has their own process, but for me, I always tell people, like, when they ask me, what are you looking for? I'm not looking for anything, but that doesn't mean I'm not looking for nothing. So like,
Sound like we are part of the Matrix.
I'm not looking for anything, but I'm also not looking for nothing.
That sound like something Morpheus.
but it's just to show, like, in my perspective, like how versatile my ears are, because my dad's in the Temptations, my grandparents are from Belize, my mother is from Honduras. So like, imagine listening to dance hall, reggaeton, soul, hip hop. Like, I don't have like a lane where everyone's like, well, what do you specialize in? I listen to everything. So if you bring me dancehall, I'll listen to dancehall. If you bring me country, I'll listen to country. And if I don't know what to do with it, I'll find someone for you that might like that. So I listen to all kind of music.
You said that, you know, like your ears aren't kind of trained to anything. So is it that people bring the music to you, or do you find the music?
Both,
so,
yeah.
Okay.
Both.
In your like for us, people send us music all the time. But to me, I like hopping on music. Like, you know, you're driving and it's like, oh, what's that? Like, what's your way of, or what's the way that you prefer to find music?
So I'm willing to listen to anything that people send me, but also I feel like the youth is the future. So I have little cousins that listen to music, and none of the time have they ever been listening to something that I was already listening to. So I always ask them, like, what are you listening to? What's on your phone? What's on your Apple Music playlist? What are you searching on YouTube? Or like, I was in the Garrisons earlier this week and last month. So like, when I'm down there, I'm asking them too, like, what are you listening to?
Wait, Garrison where? In Jamaica or America?
No, in Jamaica.
Okay.
So
like where? What's the Garrison
Tivoli.
to you? Okay.
Tower Hill. Like,
Okay.
I'm outside over here.
Girl,
so,
you in the street.
yeah,
outside.
yeah. So I'm asking them when I go, like, I'm not afraid. Like, I want to know what you're listening to, because I want to catch it before somebody else catches it. Because if you know already, I'm too late. So,
Yeah.
So right, because usually, I mean, from a couple movies and shows that I watch, is like you guys have to be like at the forefront of what's hot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but with that's changed now, the dynamics has changed where it's the internet. The internet is really telling you guys what's hot.
Yes.
So how do you like find that balance of like, okay, and more so it's about like, even if you find a diamond in the rough, is like shaping that person to become a star. So it's like, even that too is like, how does that work with the algorithm, yet, you know, trying to be on the cutting edge?
So it's two things. Like, we have a data team internally that like finds things and like brings them to us early. Like, they might see it on TikTok, Instagram, all the social media platforms. But just for me, like, I don't like the term gatekeeper, but that's what they call A&Rs in the music industry. Like, we're the gatekeepers. So we have to kind of like be outside and be active and connect with different people and understand like who's doing what, moving what, who's listening to what, connecting us to who and where. So it's hard to balance, but I do listen to the data, but I also listen to my gut, because if I find something and it doesn't have a data story behind it, it's not streaming, it's not getting a cosign from the biggest artist, like I still want to give them an opportunity and bring them into our meeting and say like, hey, this is who I'm looking at and interested in.
Because I'm glad that you talk about that, because we've had a conversation with a former A&R before the internet actually, and you know, he's saying that the A&Rs really is like looking to as you mentioned, like their data teams, right? So you're looking and say, well, okay, oh, this song is hot here, this song is hot here, this song is hot here, but it's like you guys are following the data but not necessarily like knowing really the meaning of the song in a sense. So it's like, you know, you're following the data but not necessarily like the overall vibe history of the song, the artist. So it's like you find yourself kind of like maybe not being like the data not being always reliable in terms of the signing.
I think that data shows trajectory in a good sense, like where it could go, because in my opinion, and I totally understand it with like AI coming into play with a lot of things, but I'm not putting my money on a computer. Like I have to trust my gut. Like I have to feel like this is what I am willing to sacrifice in order to bring this in the building and like make this work. Because what people don't know is when we sign artists as A&R, we too sign on the dotted line and let them know like, okay, I'm like,
you're betting a career.
Yeah, I'm saying like if this artist is getting $1 million, that I'm signing the contract too, saying like, okay, like I too am like in debt for $1 million and I need to help figure out, not financially, but just like I cost the company $1 million, so I have to figure out how to recoup, how to find another hit record and make sure it streams and get my artist to the next level. Because what people also don't know is when we get them in the building as a signed artist, they're already asking us, what's the next record? What's the plan? What are the projects?
That's the label heads.
Yes, they want to know because they're putting money on the line for you. So you have a job to do. And you have to get it done.
So when the data is telling you, well, this song is doing well here, how do you then, like, is it that you just scoop up the artist from a particular area and say, well, come, let's work, like sign them?
So for me personally, like, I don't know about anyone else, but I want to go to where you're from, where you live, where your mom lives. I don't care if it's in the ghetto of all ghettos. Like, I'm going. Like,
why?
Because I want to know who you are. I don't want to just know what music you make. I want to know why you make that music and what inspired you to make that music. Because some people are not true artists in the sense of like, they just see music as like an opportunity to make quick money, because it is quick money. But in the other sense, like I come, like I explained to you all, I came from a background of music. So I've seen people sitting and writing for hours on end and like just being exhausted. But it's like, this is what I feel like I was born to do. So I want to make sure that the artists I'm working with feel the same way. Because if music is not your number one source of income, I'm going to lose your attention. Because excuse expression, but if you're a stripper or a bartender or something that makes you faster money, if the music is not working for you, I'm gonna lose you, because you're gonna be like, oh, I can just go over here and do this quickly. But I need you here. I need you making the music that we signed off all this money for.
Is it that somebody here looks like a stripper?
No.
I never happened. That's what I know.
No, it's just an example of like quick money. You know, like even people who have like 9-to-5 jobs, that's a secured paycheck.
Yeah.
You know, like we give you this lump sum of money. You might not have ever had $100,000 in your account before, and your mom needs this, your dad needs this, your uncle, your niece, yes, everything, and it's just like, damn, all the money's gone. You're depressed. You don't want to make music, and it's like we gotta fight through that.
How much percentage of artists that you sign that actually love the music versus just in it for paycheck?
I can genuinely tell you that my entire roster loves the music, and I have 6 artists. Yeah. And they might have gone through a financial issue before, but they've come to me, we've talked about it, and I've just tried to keep them as busy as I can.
Who are these people on the artists? On your roster, sorry.
I have Teejay, obviously. Kenzo B, she's a drill artist from New York. I have another artist named Lil Zay Osama. And then I have a couple developmental acts, Taliban Duda and HD Picasso.
Okay. So
oh, and I also have another dancehall artist. His name is Projects.
Oh yeah.
Something that's a fit for drop.
Yeah, we have a lot of good music coming out.
The worst. Come on.
Yeah, because okay, so let's get into the signing of Teejay.
Oh, I think I got asked about the question where you did. Sorry.
No, I don't step over there. What goes into signing an artist?
Are you talking about in terms of like what I'm looking for or how we sign them?
Both.
So, like I said, I'm not really looking for anything specifically, but I do look for star power.
Okay.
So I want to make sure that you see it in yourself the way I see it, and that you want longevity in a career, because I have to make sure that you're prepared for what we have to do after signing you.
What that mean? What we have to do after? Isn't just to make the music?
No, it's a lot. Like, because when you sign to a label, you acquire label services, which is marketing, brand partnerships, radio, sync. There's so many departments, publicity. So like, you can't just be ready to make a record. You have to be ready to do interviews. You have to be ready to go on tour. You have to be ready to, if your song is going into a video game or something, like there's just so many different things that we need you for. And it gets tiresome, but if this is what you want to do, you have to be ready for that.
Have you ever come up on a situation where an artist is like, I wasn't expecting all of this?
Oh, 100%. Like, especially the younger artists, they're kind of just like, they're finding themselves. They're going through that moment where it's like, I'm 17, but it feels like I have a 40-year-old's job, all the things you're asking me to do. But it's like, come on, like, please. And even if it's not my department, I get on the phone and I'm like, no, I need you to get up. We have to get up. Because you're making me look bad, so we gotta get up.
How much of them care when you say that?
How many of them care?
Yeah.
I make them care, so that's what matters. Click.
So let's go into Teejay. Well, let's talk about Teejay and how that signing came about. So why did you decide to sign Teejay?
So I don't want to...
Oh, you're discovering.
So
really?
I'll tell you a little backstory. I actually came to Jamaica for the first time in like 2021. But being Caribbean, I had been listening to Teejay. So like all of that stuff, Bitcoin, rags to riches, like I was already on that. And I brought it in to the label in 2019, but it was a little too early. Yeah. So they weren't passing. They were just like, let's take a pause and just follow it and see what it turns into. I don't want to take the credit for signing Teejay because my boss, Stephen Carles, is really the one that facilitated that deal. I just made it known that I had to be on that project because I brought it in so early.
So was he in tune with Teejay's music?
Yes.
Okay.
He had already had a relationship with Sharon, and I had been telling him along the way, like, we have to do it, like, we have to do it, like, and then Drift came about, and he was just like, fuck it, that song is going crazy, like, let's get it done.
No. See, this is where I have to ask now. You're supposed to be on the cutting edge and seeing the vision. Why wasn't Warner like saying, okay, let's scoop him up so when he does make a song like Drift, it's not like following the trend, but being on top of it?
So I won't say that it was Warner in general. Sometimes it just depends on you as an individual. Like when you're passionate about something, how much passion you put into making them, your boss, your superior, because that's who you go to first when you have a signing. You want letting them know like how serious something is. But I just didn't have enough evidence, and I hadn't been down here at that time yet to see where Teejay was from, meet him, talk to him, to facilitate it. But I kept pushing. I'm like, no, we have to get him. We have to get him. I just needed a bigger selling point, and Drift just took it over the ledge, and it was just like, we're doing it.
How long did it take for you to recognize how big of a song Drift was going to be?
I don't think it took that long for me. I noticed how big it already was in the Caribbean. I was just waiting for the States to see it. So like as soon as I heard Drift, I was like, this song is huge. Like this is gonna go crazy in the clubs, in the parties, in the bashrooms in New York. Like this is a culture.
Still calling bashment.
Yeah. So it was fairly quick.
And to be clear, he signed to a publishing deal and record deal?
Yeah, actually he is.
Because I think it was first reported that it was a publishing deal. So is it that it evolved into a record deal?
So I think he got publishing and recording at the same time.
Can you break that down? What's
the difference
both?
So publishing is the side where it's just like the owning of the production and the writing, and then recording is the actual like label services for the artist.
Yeah,
so,
marketing.
It's just
so to have both is like a full record deal, essentially.
Well, yeah. So when you say record deal specifically, though, that's the recording side, and then the publishing side is the production.
Full label deal.
Yeah.
Full label deal. So like, okay, so if he was just getting a publishing deal, like what would that mean?
Essentially, publishing is where they help you with the production and the writing. So they help facilitate those situations.
You get your major producers?
Yes.
And writers?
Right.
Okay.
They help you with that type of thing. But a lot of people don't always use writers. Like Teejay doesn't use a writer. He writes most of his music on his own, 100% of it actually. So
it also includes like positioning the song like potentially in movies and
100%.
That's publishing?
Yeah, publishing helps with that too. Recording has that also. It's called sync.
Okay. Sync. Okay. So which deal is a better deal?
It really just depends at what level you are on in your career. Like some people sign over their publishing too early, and some people do record labels too early. But it really just depends on where you're at the moment.
And there's also like a marketing, like distribution deal as well.
You can do distribution.
So what would that be?
Distribution is just the actual company that funnels the music. Like it's not like they own you as an entity or it's a 360 or anything of the sort. It's literally just, it could be a single or a project or something of the sort.
So you just sign it to, and they help get it into the places that need it to get to.
They help push the music.
Okay.
How influential was that pre-existing relationship with Sharon Burke to this signing?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
How influential was the relationship with Sharon Burke to the signing of Teejay?
I think it helped a great deal because there was already a relationship with Sharon, and Sharon had already been in a great position with my boss, who's Stephen Carles. So just having that bond there already and knowing what type of manager that we were getting inside the building made a big difference, because people don't realize it, but management does make a big deal, a big difference when you're working with a major label, because it kind of like tells us where we're going to be at with the project or with the artist in general, like how much communication we're going to have, how they're able to, speak for you in the rooms that they're in and make decisions. It just makes the process a lot smoother.
How much does do the labels pay attention to like social media antics of the artists that are signed to them?
Oh, I know it's coming after this question. Listen, we have different departments for different things, and we can't stop the artist from being human. That's all I can say.
But you do pay attention to that.
100%. I'm on my phone all day looking to see what antics are going on.
And have some level of concern.
Yeah, with a level of concern, but with also just like, oh, there they are again, just being themselves. Like, I don't know how much concern I really have, as long as it's not like physical or anything crazy of the sort. If it's healthy competition, I have no issue with it.
What's our artist just going on live and telling somebody about their mother?
Yeah, I don't agree with that part. I don't think that anyone's family should be.
You know what I mean?
Oh, suck your mother? Yeah, definitely.
Ari, she's Caribbean. She knows what it means. I see Ari, she's Caribbean.
He's have a different one. I
She's
don't know.
Caribbean.
Hear him.
She in the streets. She know what that mean, Ari.
Listen, I was
She in the streets. She go someplace where you never go.
Right.
Stop it.
Right.
Stop it, Ari.
No, but the thing is to like it. I mean, it really don't matter because we see, and it's not even in. And I'm not trying to localize it to dancehall because artists are very eccentric. Dare I say erratic people? You know, that very emotional.
Yeah,
and that go off waves. So it's just like you factor that in it. But is there any way that people, like, what is the worst thing that somebody has to do for them to lose them record label? Like, nobody really loses their record label.
Yeah, that's more of a thing of like, if you're not streaming or not making music or not, it's just not working. Like, we're not able to connect you with the audience. It's really not a thing of controversy. Like, I definitely know what we're referring to. So like, I get it. Like, I get how it could seem controversial, but I mean, at the end of the day, as long as everyone's making music and it's putting out more records for us, then I have no problem with it. As long as everyone's safe and sound at the end of the night, like, do your thing.
And I'm glad that you mentioned, like, you know, the label's major concern is pretty much recouping. So connecting to the audience to recoup. That's the major's label major concern.
Right.
So it's like how. And you know, we're dancehall. These foreign companies are very much American. How is the translation from a dancehall artist to an American audience? How much do you try to change or refine, tweak dancehall to fit to a American audience?
So I don't try to change anything. So I'll tell you this: the music that Teejay delivers to me, that's what I turn into the label, and that's what I go into the rooms to discuss. This is what he's saying, and if I have to translate to get the room to understand, that's just what I have to do. But I'm not trying to change him as an artist. When we get to that point where he feels like he wants to do a crossover record, where he becomes more appealing to the masses in America, I'm more than willing to help facilitate that. But I don't want to change him by any sense, because what he did and what he started is what attracted us to him, and that's what we need to continue to do.
So you're saying it's not really a must that a local dancehall artist have to change them sound to stay on a major?
No, not at all, because dancehall artists, Caribbean artists in general, Spanish artists, they get signed to labels in the US. So something there has to already be connecting in the US for them to even be getting signed. If it wasn't, there would be no opportunity.
So what happens now when you sign a dancehall artist for their sound, and then they know when being signed, say, hey, I want to change my sound? Does that create a sort of panic, or like say, this is not why we signed you, so why are you going in this direction? Does that ever happen, like with any artist of any genre?
So not a panic, but just in the sense of like, it depends on where we are in the recording process. Like, if we're working on a project and this is like your debut project on the label, I need to make sure that, you know, that gets finished first, and then I'm gonna reason with you. Like, I just want to make sure that you're doing this for the right purpose. You know, I don't want you to come in and, you know, it could be intimidating coming into the office and seeing a whole room full of people who don't look like you and wondering if they understand the vision and if they're on the road with us and, like, you know, willing to put in the work. But I just want to make sure that the reasoning behind why you're trying to change the sound is correct, or if you feel like it's for you or for the masses. Because when the time comes, you'll know when you need a crossover record. But if it's not the time, doing something prematurely, I don't believe in that.
And what is a crossover record to you? What that sound like to you?
A crossover record is
for a dancehall artist.
So it could be different. Like, it depends on what genre you're trying to cross over into. But essentially, it's just American music. Like, it could be pop, rock, hip hop, R&B, soul, whatever that looks like for you. That's just a crossover record. It's just something to make you appeal to the masses in the States.
And is it like even to working with a more established major hip hop or whatever, like a major music act.
Yeah, it could be a collaboration with another artist, but it doesn't necessarily have to. It's all about the sound. You'll hear it. You'll be like, oh yeah, that's not a dance hall record. That's like soul or R&B or something. You'll definitely know the difference.
Do you think that dancehall has mass appeal to an international audience? Modern dancehall has
at least to American audience,
international
100%, because even though I don't live here and I am Caribbean, like I don't really have any ties to the Caribbean left because that side of my family is deceased. But just like being in New York, London, Canada, California, those places have huge Caribbean influences. So you hear that stuff walking down the street. Like you might be in a store and they're playing Nigeri or Joshi or artists of that nature. Like it's playing just like regular Taylor Swift is playing.
Where is it being played?
In stores,
with a strong Caribbean diaspora?
No. Okay. Just like regular stores like CVS,
Walmart,
Target. We don't have Walmart in New York, but Target, in Ubers, random Ubers. I've been in Uber driver cars that are like Italian and Joshy's playing on the radio, TJ's playing on the radio. I'm telling you, like I've gotten in cars and Drift has played 3-4 times before I've gotten out of the car, and they'll just start talking, have no idea who I am or what I do, and they'll be like, "This song, I really like this song. Like I don't know what he's saying, but I really like it." And I'm like, "Yeah, keep playing it."
What's the level of patience would you say that a label head has when signing a new artist? You said not too long ago that it's all about
money
making hit records. So what level of patience would you say they have?
They have to have a lot of patience, honestly, especially like if it's an artist that has no data story or anything, and it's just like we call it a gut signing, where you're just passionate about the act and bringing it in. They have to have a lot of patience because there's a lot of artists out here that people are not familiar with the backstory of development. Like the artist Her took her 13 years to develop and become who she is now. So you have to, in my opinion, you have to show your superior who and what the artist is. Like if they're recording, keep them involved in the recording process throughout the development. Let them know what you foresee, where it's going, who you have them working with, because being silent about it and just being like, oh yeah, they're working on a project, they're going to be like, you haven't showed me anything, you haven't done anything. Like they gotta go. We're spending money. Like time is money.
They gotta go. Are they really like that?
No. I'm just saying they won't say that per se, but that's just what I take. Like I take the baseline out of everything. Like what you're saying to me, what I'm taking away from it, yeah, that's what's happening. So like if you're not showing them anything, they're going to be like, this might not be working out. Let's revisit it. But I'm telling my artists, like, they about to let us go. Like, we got to figure it out. We have to show them.
Let us go?
Yeah, not literally.
No, but
I get attached to my projects, my artists, like, because you become invested. You're spending time.
Exactly.
I miss so many birthdays, holidays, everything. Like, I'm outside, like, I'm here and my mom's not really feeling well, so I should be in LA, but I'm here making sure things are happening, just to, like, let people know that like I'm on the ground. I'm doing the groundwork with my artists.
So naturally get attached.
Yeah, because they become like family. Like Sharon is like my aunt. Like
she's like our aunt.
Literally, and she'll cuss you.
She
cuss you. She does not play.
She never really cuss me yet. Probably in private. I love you, Auntie.
Love you. But no, I'm just saying, like, you talk to them more than you talk to your own family sometimes. It just becomes that.
I laugh because you said let us go. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh yeah,
you ain't going.
You're not gonna. I mean, don't want to ask how difficult is that conversation sometimes. Like, that probably they're on the brink of being let go. So is that a difficult conversation?
So I haven't actually had to tell someone that yet, but I think they feel it before it happens because things start to slow down, budgets start to close up, like things just don't add up to them anymore, and they want to know, like, why aren't the music being released, or why can't I shoot any more videos and things of that sort. So that conversation doesn't necessarily conclude with me. I don't necessarily deliver that message, but I do talk to them afterwards, you know, and just let them know, like, let's just keep talking. Like, let's keep figuring it out. Like, I don't want them to think that that means they lose access to me. Obviously, we're not working in the same building anymore, but
so they still have access to you afterwards. Like,
yeah,
I
still try to let them know that I'm there, and if they need advice or anything, like, I'm willing to provide that, because what I don't believe in is ruining relationships or doing bad business. I don't like to practice anything of the sort.
Yeah.
Can an artist just walk away from a deal?
No.
What you mean? Like, of course, them just
I just felt like walking away from this situation.
No,
No, you can.
not contractually.
We've heard that before. So I just decided to walk away from this deal.
You saying that they're lying?
That's what they say.
I'm not saying anyone is lying. What works for them might not work for me. That's all I can say.
But
What's the longest? Well, I was going to say, Scott, when you sign an artist, like, what's the longest time frame on the contract?
So contracts are not necessarily time frames. They're based on like material
Projects.
Yeah, so
deliverables.
So it might be like you could do a single deal, you could do a single plus one, you can do
Album
a
deal.
single with an option, an album deal. It could be 5 albums. Like it really just depends on what you and your counsel negotiate, and what we are offering as well.
Yeah. There's a school of thought that the current dancehall, and we just had the conversation about what tracks and what registers with an international audience. There's a school of thought that says that the current dancehall, or trap dancehall, sound does not register with a US audience, with an international audience, because it sounds like knockoff dancehall. Knockoff hip hop. Knockoff rap. My apologies. What's your thought on that as an A&R? And if you can give us some insight as to what the label heads think as well.
So I don't want to speak prematurely on that, because I've never actually brought that genre into the building. So I can't say what my label heads or who I bring the music to would think of that, because I've never had that interaction with it. So, but I don't think that that's a huge issue as of yet. What I do feel like is they're probably saying that because they don't speak or understand broken English, Creole, patois. Like, people don't understand what are being said on the records, so they just dance to the rhythm, but they're not going to continuously play that because they can't relate to it. Yeah,
because the same school of thought says that, you know, they can relate to, or they like a certain sound from this region, you know, that 90s, that 2000s, early 2000s sound, and this current sound this current sound, you know, they don't really vibe with it. So is that the case?
I don't think that's the case. I just think that we haven't been properly introduced to that sound yet, and there needs to be like a big breakthrough artist that's going to bring it to the forefront and champion the rest of the artists in with it. I just think it's miscommunication. People they're not aware, and no one's really making them aware of that genre.
We've been told that, you know, they get radio play, and then after a couple spins, then it's like, because people not really requesting and really.
Well,
and I find that weird too, because I mean, again, you said that the data and on the cutting edge, on the forefront. So you are familiar with modern sounding trap dancehall. You are. So it's to say that it's not communicate. You are aware of it.
So let me correct myself. I'm aware of it, but I haven't really brought it into the building, is what I'm saying. So that's why I don't want to speak on what their thoughts are on it.
So why you not bringing
why haven't you?
I've honestly been focused on Teejay. Like, that's my main priority, and I want to make sure that I'm giving him my all and pushing our project that we just released out recently.
So is it like to clarify too with Teejay, is it a publishing record? Like, how many is it albums? Like, what's...
So I can't discuss the particulars of his deal.
Okay.
But on my side, it's a recording contract. Publishing is Warner Records is recording. Publishing would be Warner Chappell, 2 different companies.
So I mean, even so, as he was on Good Morning New York, I think it was, Good Day New York. These are some of the things that you guys are responsible for, like kind of bringing them on to talk shows and connecting them with major festivals and major shows to ensure that they're put out there.
Right.
So like even to like with the interviewing and them something like that's a part of your, I guess what you said, no. Your job description to ensure that you're not changing him up to where he's tonguing, but like being able to communicate.
Yeah. So that's not my department, that's publicity, but they do media training, which, helps you get in line with like how to answer questions and things of the sort and what's appropriate to say and what's not appropriate to say and things like that. So yeah, artists do get media training when they come into the label. Some artists don't necessarily need it. They're already aware because they've been afforded those opportunities before signing. Some artists do. It just depends on, again, where you are in your career.
We're taking the break out of this podcast. To big up Ibiza, Daylight Ibiza, happening Sunday, March 24th. The theme is Floral Finesse. 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. General pre-sold is $8,000 and $10,000 at the gate. Premium cuisine inclusive. Daylight Ibiza no plating. Hennessy. Daylight Ibiza. You can get tickets online at daylightibiza.com as well.
Just to go back, because you said 13 years for her.
Yeah.
To really kind of break.
Either 12 or 13, but
I mean, more than a decade.
Yes.
Still a long time. I mean, I'm sure there are lots of artists that get impatient too. It's not even you, but the artists themselves. So it's like, how does that go when an artist feel like them not connect in the way that they want to connect? Like, what's the conversation with you like? It's like how you calm them and say, well, let's the process. Because even so, because maybe as you say, like the major heads are like, well, money, what's up?
Yeah. So the conversation with the artist is a little bit different. We try to just reassure them that you're working, they're doing different records, you're putting them in the right rooms, like camps and different things that allow them to work with producers and writers and hear demos and tracks that have been cultivated for them and allow them to see the process of where their music started and then what it develops into and what the sound is that you're essentially trying to cultivate for them that helps them become a superstar. So just allowing them to like understand that it is a process, and keeping them busy, in my opinion, is a big deal. Like keeping an artist in the studio out of trouble and, allowing them to have different opportunities like interviews, shows and things like that. Once they're busy, they're not even going to notice the time passing.
So do you even help with them, like probably venturing into other industries like acting or
yes,
like
yeah, we
business?
do.
Okay.
So with label services, there's a lot of different things that come with that, like brand partnerships. You might be working with Coca-Cola or Pepsi or maybe a clothing brand that you really like, and sometimes people see you in those ads and they call from different TV and film companies that might want you. So it's a lot of opportunities that come with a major label because I call it like a Rolodex. Like,
so would the major labels get a part of that too?
No, it did. Well, like, let me correct that. It depends on what kind of deal you sign. Okay. If you signed a deal like a 360, yeah, they get a part of everything, but it really just depends on what you've signed.
So what happens when you sign an artist who has their own label? So Teejay has Top Brass. Is it that his label's also signed under the label?
I don't know if I can answer that question.
And I figured you wouldn't be able to.
You know what I wanted to ask? Is there ever a case where an artist gets overshadowed by, let's say, another artist signed to the label, but they're hot now and they're having their moment and they're bringing in a lot of money for the label, but another artist doesn't get a chance or opportunity because they're putting all the focus on that hot artist?
I think that people would like to think that that's the case, but I don't believe so, because when you come into the building, you get a team. So you get an internal team and all of the different departments that I listed, like marketing, brand partnerships, publicity, you get a rep from each department that is on your team and is catering to you, essentially. Like they're finding opportunities that are specific to you. the music that you're making. It might be a TV show that song fit into. It might be a brand that likes you and wants you to wear their clothes with your new single. So you're getting tailored plans for you specifically. So there might be an artist that's bigger than you on the label and they might be moving faster, but you're both getting equal opportunities internally.
I see.
Yeah.
What's the difference between signing an artist presently and like back in the day? I know you're young and the team.
Yeah, I wish I could answer that. I can tell you based off of what my dad has told me in the sense of like, he had his own group like in the 70s.
Not The Temptation.
No, he started in a group he created his own group called Love Committee, which was really popular back in his day also. But there was no money really to be made. And when they were making money, it was being signed off to a manager that they really didn't even know anything about the contracts. The manager handled everything. So my dad wasn't making too much of anything back then.
Yo, the business like back them time coming like wow, what's you think it's better now? And I mean, we've heard so many horror stories about major labels. Like, I watch a TLC movie, I think. Burke.
No,
but do you think they still have a place now, especially when independent seem to be, I think independent moves seem to be a thing, and either independent labels that like help, but not trying to, for want of a better word, gouge the artists. Like, do you think major labels still have a place?
100%. I feel like major labels give you a huge opportunity, whether people want to agree with it or not. Like, I feel like everyone has their own experience with everything, but coming into a building from being an independent artist, you see everything that we have access to and you realize how much you now have access to. So it's not only you like signing a deal and then you go make your music on your own. Like, you get access to whoever we have access to. So if I was related to Drake, like, you'd have access to Drake, like, or Drake's producers or whoever. Like, you're going to get that same treatment once you come into the building. And just coming inside and seeing, like, meeting everyone from the different departments, talking to radio, talking to the heads of the companies, you feel motivated. You feel like, wow, I have all of this at my fingertips. Like, let me get to work. It is a different type of motivation.
With that being said, this may also be difficult for you to answer, but let me ask you this. Do you think it should be the goal of an artist to be signed by a major label?
I think that the goal of an artist should be whatever they feel is necessary for them. I work at a major label, so I'm always going to advocate for that label. But but whatever works for them. But just know I'm coming to knock on your door if you don't think that is best for you.
What do you mean? Why?
Like if an artist is like, because sometimes you speak to artists and they're like, I want to stay independent until I build up my catalog or until I do these things. I'm coming to knock on your door. Like, I'm coming to talk to your mom. Like, where's she at?
What I gotta do?
No, like, sometimes you have to do those things though. Like, you have to come and meet the family and talk to whoever is the manager, or they might not even be a manager. They might be your best friend from up the road that you grew up with, but they want to help you. So I'm going to come talk to whoever I need to talk to.
Miss Press, applying pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, because it's like, you're saying that you're going to talk to the person, right? You know what you bring. You know the value that you have as working with a major label. Like, why run them down if they don't feel like that's what they need right now?
It's not about running them down. So, like, if you give me a flat out no, I'm going to let you be. But I want you to understand the passion that I have, and I want you to see my vision and why I feel like it's necessary to bring you into the building. Because I'm not able to work with you outside of the building because I work for a major label. So I'm not able to, apply or supply you with anything. So I need you inside for me to help facilitate that and get that wheel rolling. Like, I want everyone that I see passion in musically to feel like I'm bringing them into the building and giving them the opportunity for their music to be heard at our round table where we discuss new music or whatever it is we're speaking about. And without me letting you know that I have passion in you, how would you know that?
What's the vision that you have for Teejay?
For TJ, he's already an international superstar, but I definitely want him to be more prominent in the States. Like, I want us to have another follow-up record behind Drift, and I want him to just continue to blow. Like, he does shows every other day. He's already on the road and keeps my schedule full. So I just want us to keep on that journey.
Sharon, I keep your schedule full.
How him keep
I'm sorry?
How him keep your schedule full?
Oh, because I'm always in Jamaica. I live in New York. I've been here more than I've been in New York this year.
I mean, I asked about Sharon, I keep your schedule
Oh,
full.
Sharon too.
Yeah. So would be like Sharon because
Because TJ lives here, so I come to see him, go to the studio if he has things to do. Like,
so why
that's
not bring him up?
where to the States. He comes often, but I come back and forth. Like, if he's in New York, I'm there with him. But if he's here, I'm here with him too. Like, he's always there. He was there 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, something like that.
But you say, and you have other artists on your roster, so you really freaking travel out, right?
Yeah,
Are all your other artists based in America?
Well, most of them, they're all in America, but I'm in Chicago. New York is where I live. Florida, like I bounce around with all of them. But TJ just happens to be the most busy because we just put out I Am Chippy, the EP. It's on Apple Music. So I'm moving around with him mostly right now.
Do you think you've done a good job in convincing the label heads that, you know, TJ, there's stock in TJ?
I don't think that I even had to convince anyone because they saw it. Like, after I brought it in and we were a little too early, when we brought it back into the building, they were ready to go.
No go.
Everyone
Because
was
of
on
Drift.
board. Not only because of Drift, but like just actually showing them the catalog and what was before Drift. They were like, yeah.
So you're saying that an artist have to have a major, a sturdy enough catalog to get the interest?
I'm not saying that they have to have it, but it makes the selling point a lot easier to show them like where they started, where they are now, and where they could potentially go. Because for me, it's a little harder to fight for an artist that only has one single. Because I'm like, okay, well, did you just start doing music? What made you start doing music? Where's the rest of the music? Is it unreleased? Are you going to put it out? Like, there's just so many more questions after that.
Yeah.
That I'm just like, I'm not sold at that point. And if I'm not sold, I'm not going to bring it into the building.
I mean, I know you're probably out here, and I'm sure people come and say, yeah, I'm an A&R artist. Like, how many times have you been bombarded with people like, I'm an artist, listen to my song?
So I don't even introduce myself with my last name.
I'm an artist, listen to my song.
Yeah, so I just say my name. Like, when people like ask me who I am, I say, oh, hi, I'm Reyna. Like, I would tell people that I work in sanitation.
You say, well, fuck up now. You say, well, miss a blessing. You say, well, miss a blessing.
out here lying.
You know what she can do job, she can lead in our Spanish. No, I'm going
Listen, yo habla español, so I can switch the code quick.
Wow.
She don't know them Jamaica. Hola,
Yeah. Just listen to my song, no? Okay.
What about Duolingo?
Wow.
Just
That's
me.
crazy.
If
And
I
then
really
you have the
want-
beauty of anonymity. Yeah, you have the beauty of that.
Yeah.
So people,
Yeah.
but I mean, I just even too. That's why I ask you, because you know, people bombard with music all the time. You know,
Yeah, we
and
don't have
people-
that luxury there.
Yeah, and people feel like they're entitled to be heard.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes you have to say, well, it's not right. So even with TJ, and I appreciate what you said, like, it wasn't the right time for TJ. And it's true. Like, timing is everything.
Right.
Sometimes it's like, yeah, you're good, but can we wait a little bit more?
Yeah.
Like, so sometimes, you know, has that ever happened to you when, so a case like TJ, for example, not TJ, but a case like TJ where, you know, there was conversation prior. I'll say,
Yeah,
hi, I'm
there's-
an A&R and I want to talk to you about a signing. And then we're like,
been-
not yet. But then when them get big now, they're like, fuck you.
Yeah, there's been a lot of artists where that I've been really early on. Like, even Jada, I was too early on Jada.
Wow.
Yeah, I brought in Ice Spice. We were a little too early on that. There's a lot.
What? You miss Munch?
You miss
No,
fart?
I was listen.
You
I
miss
say Munch. I was saying Munch.
Jaja.
I was early, but you know, sometimes
So what was the song for Jada?
that I was
you.
early on.
Which song? Which was your first introduction to?
I can't
Jada?
even sing it because it's like it's X-rated.
Which one? It's fine. We're not the fun.
I don't know. I don't know what it's called, but it's like, how does it go? Damn. Of course, I would forget the lyrics on camera, but I'll show y'all later. But it was very graphic. Like she was half naked in the video and everything, and my boss was like, "I don't know if I can listen to this in front of you."
I mean, but most
Wait,
I mean, she always a short bottom. Really, so
Yeah.
And it mess like
this
almost
is
all
a
our
super
songs.
old song. Let
That's
me
annoying.
look. It's on YouTube though.
Like
of
how
course,
old,
all of them
how
are fun.
old did you
It's
that say
old.
it
It's
is?
like 3 years old.
Not that old.
I wonder if it's the same song that I like, but me I say
Banana.
No, it's not that one.
Yo,
It's
lock
after that
it
one.
off, lock it off.
Let me see.
Copyright.
No, not that one.
Ita shake up the place.
Yes, that one.
That one
No,
there?
not shake, not shake.
That with Skilly.
Yeah.
That collab with Skilly.
No, it's like
Rancho one.
Say you love it or something like that.
say I love it. You know which one me did love with Jada? She and Governor. She and Governor. Wait, am I getting?
Now I gotta find the song though.
Talk about me too.
Yeah.
You have to.
I gotta. Better than that.
No, other buddy. Man,
Come, Reyna, give us.
You know this one though, right?
can't sing, so yeah, I heard that one. Yeah,
This one
Yeah.
should have been so much better. This song should have done so much better. But yeah, isn't that always the case though? Like you like a song and you think a song is a hit, and then you work on it, and you're the artist them in the studio work on it, and then when you release it to the public, it not really go the way that you go. Like how you deal with that?
so you just can't have expectations on certain things because like I was at a camp earlier today here in Jamaica at Tough Gong, and we were just talking about that with an artist. Like he was like, I don't want to release this song because I've heard it so many times and I'm just over it. But that song was better than the song he was talking about he wanted to release. And I was like, typically that's how it works with the label. Like we'll tell you to release a song, and you won't like that song because you've heard it so many times, but the public has never heard it.
Yeah.
So they're going to love it. So he was just going back and forth. He was like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to release that song.
I mean, and this is what's important to have a lot of people around because you have one idea, one vision, one sound. But then when you open yourself to new people, especially people who aren't yes people, you know, can really give you a proper insight into it. You're not really a yes person. What happened?
No.
You want water?
Yes, please. I'm dying. Sorry, I don't know why this is happening
fine.
while we're on camera.
That's fine.
Should have right on the AC. You know,
Yeah.
They're not dead up yourself because them time down to Sharon of the cost.
Yes, she's like, Reyna, your eyes are on TV.
Me tell you no go up I fix.
Shut up.
Me didn't tell you.
Auntie Sharon loves us.
Oh, man.
Right.
so
So,
sorry.
I mean, you're not really a yes person.
No, not at all. Like, I definitely feel like it's important to be vocal about how you feel about records and letting your artist know, like, hey, we could tweak this a little bit here and fix this a little bit there, because being a yes person just makes them feel like everything they're doing is right. And sometimes we all need coaching.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The water forward.
Thank you.
Now you're comfortable up here.
We're soon done anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, okay, cool.
Loud.
No, it's not that.
Jada have one song named so?
I think suffering.
Thank you. Sure, you can't fuck me, not so fussy about the money, but don't take show off. Yeah, walk with a steel pipe, off it think twice, push it into me. So cocky for hours.
It's
my
dance.
face anywhere that you like. Boy, just pull up on the east side. That's all.
Yeah.
It a shake up a place.
That's Shake?
Jada featuring Skilly Bang.
No, then that's not the song. Then let me find
I
it.
know one, yeah, I sing.
Take it.
What?
Well, she half naked there.
Yeah, see, now you see why. Yes. Yeah, you better. Yeah.
They did that on the 50 bagger though? Was it?
Yes, that song.
I never even remember this.
Yeah, that song.
People them see the sunset. Reyna.
Every time you
I don't think I should be watching this with people in the room.
And I was an assistant when I found that song. So my boss was like, girl, you listening to the wrong thing. Like, what are you doing?
Wow, so
like,
Jada was almost signed.
I'm like, no, trust me. Like, this is a hit in our culture. This is a hit.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know, but just pay attention. Just keep looking at it.
Oh my god!
Wow, wow.
I get that how he was so uncomfortable. He's like, am I watching a porno?
And plus, they did have the red light too, and like them shot feel up our body
And you know what's
like close
crazy?
up.
When I came back to Jamaica, I like had friends at that point that are from here, and we were in the Voxy, and I was playing it loud. And they're like, "Yeah, you can't play this with money in the car."
Aja.
Just man who do with them body.
No man, that video, that video. I like the tall of a blur or some things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
I didn't think it was a big deal. I was just like, this is a record that I like, so let me just play it for you.
I mean, you think if it never had a video, you would have probably.
He still listened to the song on Apple Music. We just didn't look at the video.
Oh.
Judge.
After that, she did drop Wind. So, like, probably a couple years
Probably like around the
Wind
same
are
time.
one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite songs from if not favorite song from her.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
So then, I mean, even that to like, it shouldn't matter. So what was so?
I think it was just that he is an American and was not familiar with this sound or like what it entails. Like it's different.
Judge.
It's different being from this culture and growing up and knowing that things like this are normal. Not that I was like overly exposed to it, but just like this is regular music that plays at birthday parties and stuff like
And
that.
I can't understand people who are complaining about WAP. Who make WAP? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
This shot right here is crazy though. That's crazy.
And you
That's
know, like
crazy.
quick when you look at it, it's like you think she's naked, but she's actually not. Damn.
Yo, Jaja. Wow.
Rated
Yeah.
R.
Yeah. That video, yeah. I didn't pay enough attention to this video.
I don't understand. It's like, you know, because Americans, like, you have the WAP and them something there. So why was it so like too much?
I don't think that it was too controversial for him. Like I said, he just is not used to things like that. And at that time, WAP wasn't even out yet. So,
but I mean, they're not.
But I think being in a corporate building is very different, and you have to maintain some level of discretion. And so I had never brought anything like that to the table for him before, and he was just surprised. He just wasn't expecting that from me, because a lot of people, honestly, they think I'm super sweet and nice, and you know, they don't.
Oh, wait a minute, Reyna. What the fuck is this?
I think, and
if I want to watch a porno, I'd go to Pornhub.
I think if he was used to like me bringing stuff like that to the table, he probably would have been like, okay, cool. But he was just in shock. But he did really like the music. That was the main focus, the music.
And then she got signed to Which what was
Republic.
Republic.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, you say you missed the mark then, but yeah. So some
100%.
things you kind
Yeah.
of feel bad of not.
No,
doing,
100%. And you know, too, being an assistant, I will say, like, I was a little more timid and like, I don't really want to risk my job by like trying to push and like, I don't know if I'm overstepping. Like, I was really unsure of what I could and could not do as an assistant. But I will say having great mentorship and people behind me really like motivated me to be like more vocal. Like, no, I like this. I'm going to say that I like this. Because you sit in a room full of executives that have huge titles, and as an assistant, you don't realize that like I'm sitting at the same table as you, where you might have a higher title than me, but we're eating the same food. We're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So I can say what I would like to say. I can bring to the table what I like, and you don't have to like it.
You think executives get dancehall music in a whole, like
I think
present, modern,
On a whole.
old time, whatever, like get dancehall, the culture?
I don't think all of them do. I can't speak for everyone, but I will say that I encourage executives and just people who are interested in dancehall in general to come to the countries, because I don't believe that dancehall only lives in Jamaica. I believe it lives in the entire Caribbean. So I would encourage them to come down, see what the culture is like, talk to the people, experience it, eat the food, because dancehall is a lifestyle. It's food, it's culture, it's clothing, it's, you know, how people carry themselves, it's what they interact with, their social group and setting. Like, come down, see what it's like, talk to the people, experience it.
Yeah, so them bang the line.
Yeah, so that when you go back into the rooms, you have a real selling point and you can explain what you experienced. Because I don't think playing a song in a room is enough. Being like, oh, this song has 50,000 creates on TikTok and it's streaming number 3 on Spotify's daily playlist. Like, that's not enough for me. Like, I want to know like what it's like and what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah. So like, even when you hear a song like, you know, we're slang country and all them something, so like even that too, you want to be verse on like the slangs and
like I like when I'm in the States, like I have friends here, so I talk to them on the phone and I'll be like, Zine. And then if my American friends hear me, they're like, what did you just say? And I'm like, that means this, this, and that. So yeah, I try to like pick up the language and understand what people are saying. So I know like what Teejay is saying in the songs too. Like, so when I'm playing them, I'm like, oh, he's saying this, this, and this. And they're like, oh.
Sometimes I feel
Now I get the picture.
sometimes I feel like, you know, there's a disconnect with, and you're right, it's more on the executive side more than anything, but dancehall is really vibe. So even
100%.
because if Gangnam Style, I don't speak a lick of Korean.
Oh yeah,
but
me either.
we all know the dance, you know. So it's like really like song is about mood and vibes and good vibes, and you try to deal with good vibes now. So I want to ask, you know, about Afrobeats. Is do you have a Afrobeat? I'm a piano artist on your roster.
I don't. But obviously we did the Drift remix with DeVito.
Oh yeah.
So we do have a few Afrobeat artists on the label, like Omale.
Who girlfriend
No idea what you're talking about.
No, you know, see the viral thing where him doing guy who dip on
Oh yeah,
stage and him girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Him girlfriend wind up on her.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Let me show you.
Him girlfriend, why not on the next
No, so Omale is the artist.
Is that male artist?
And him and there was a male patron and him girlfriend in the audience. And the girl go up on stage with Omale, I think it is. And like literally a grind and a feel up in penis on stage. Yeah, Omale. Him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. That's the you never see that?
I'm sorry?
You never see that?
I didn't see it, no.
Oh no. Sorry about that. Continue. Yeah, you said Omale, you want to sign Omale.
No, I didn't say I signed him. I said we have him on the label.
Oh yeah, what that mean?
Like,
oh,
he
you
signed,
never sign him?
No, he's not my artist. He's not on my roster.
Oh,
no.
Okay. So I mean, so again, so Afrobeat isn't it? you personally don't sign an Afrobeat artist.
No, it's not that I don't sign Afrobeat artists. I have not signed an Afrobeat artist, and I enjoy Afrobeats. Like I'm open to hearing it and signing one day. I just haven't been afforded the opportunity yet.
Yeah. And which other genres are you looking at too?
I look at all genres: Afrobeats, reggaeton, punta, like just a lot. A lot of the things I do look at now lately are Caribbean descent artists and things of the sort.
What is punta?
Punta is a Spanish type of music. Punta, Punta. Punta. Yeah.
Okay.
Why would I feel like that means something bad?
Me too.
No, it doesn't mean anything bad. Punta is like
pussy.
dembo. No, it's just like Spanish. It's like our Spanish versions of like hip hop. Because my mom is from Honduras, so it's a Spanish country. So I listen to that stuff.
And reggaeton.
Sprinkle of reggaeton.
Yeah.
Because reggaeton is or their version of dancehall.
Yep.
And punta is their version of hip hop.
Right.
Okay. Cool. So you the Warner is looking to really have their hands in many different genres.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for the label in totality, but in general, like me as an A&R, I do look for like different things. I just want to bring something different to the table because music is evolving. And like you were saying earlier, like, you know, you don't understand Korean, but you understand that song. I think music is like math, like it's universal. So it's a feeling, you get a vibe, even if you don't know what they're saying. If it's a good rhythm, you're going to dance to it. So I think that it's important to incorporate those things into what I do for work.
Do you guys look at producers as well?
That's publishing. But sometimes we do, because, you know, producers put out albums too.
Yeah.
Like DJ Khaled, Metro Boomin, they put out their own albums. So it just depends if the producer is in that space where they feel like they want to put it out and they're bringing it to the table, then yeah, we'll look at it.
Because I feel like even for the sound to be more international too, like not just the artists need to be signed, but the producer.
But producers typically get signed on the publishing side because that's their lane of a signing. So that's who typically handles that.
So does Warner have a dancehall producer on their roster?
Not as of yet, no.
Okay. Are you guys looking?
Always looking.
We can help you.
Boss Panda.
We can help you.
Boss
Panda,
Panda.
shout out to Panda. That's my guy. Yeah.
Of course.
I'm on it. I'm in the garrison.
Yeah. I know. That's what I say. Boss Panda. Bossy.
Yeah.
I mean, bossy. Yeah.
I mean,
Big up
there's
Panda.
several people too, like, you know, that, and I definitely think that, especially if Warner wants to really, not like, if I've always said my personal, like, if we can go in a discussion time now, is just like, I feel like the labels don't necessarily get it right with the artists because them always are try shape them into something else, you know, and
I hear you. So what I call it my spiel. What I always tell artists is when I'm interested in them, I'm not here to change what you've been doing. Like, because what you're doing is what attracted me to you. So if we change it, then it's not going to be what I was looking at.
And that means the song too. So it's like, so if you guys can like really sign up a dancehall producer, a few of them, so that the artist can work with them, like that one push the artist one and to expand the sound, you know. So it's like you're not trying to force a hip hop producer to do a dancehall, like 100%. You're not trying to force the dancehall artist to do hip hop. You know?
But too, a lot of dancehall artists come with their own team.
True.
So that's been a big question, like with meeting with other dancehall artists, like, do I have to leave my producer? Do I have to leave my manager? But it's like, no, your team can come with you. We're not necessarily signing your producer, but I want you to keep your producer in-house, which means whoever you've been working with originally, so that we can keep that sound going.
So how them get paid?
The producers?
Yeah, you paid them. Warner paid them.
Well,
The artists.
the art.
And that's where the problem comes.
So it comes out of a budget that's allocated for your audio.
Okay.
So when you're releasing a project, you set up a budget and you anticipate however much the production is going to cost. So it depends on who the producer is and what they charge. If their fee is like $2,500, then that's what they get for that record. If their fee is $30,000, that's what they get for that record. If it's 15, whatever it is, we just have to pay it.
Okay. More questions from Ms. Reyna?
Yeah, I mean, we can go and a ton more, but I think it was It was good.
Yeah.
The conversation that we had was fruitful. And I kind of get some clarity because honestly, like A&R is like, you kind of know what Una do, but what Una really do. But, yeah.
People think that it's like a glorified position because we get to be outside, we get to travel, like we're in the studio, like it's fun, but nobody really understands that like it's like a report card. Like at the end of the day, you really get to see like when you get a release schedule in front of you, who's putting out music and who's just outside spending money. And making it look fancy with the big chains, like
if or spend them advance and
right,
upload them
because
advance.
at the end of the day, you have to be able to answer. Not only the artists have to answer questions, but we as the A&R, we answer questions too because they want to know, like, okay, we gave him $1 million. What did you give us in return? Well, I gave you 10 singles, 3 projects, 6 music videos, and we charted on Billboard. We were on Spotify's playlists, and we did whatever. So I want my report card to be the reflection of like what we're doing because I'm putting out music.
Right.
But I'm not going to ask about, or if you answer this or mention this, but you had a prior experience working with dancehall artists before, right?
No, not before Teejay.
Okay.
Yeah, not before
So
Teejay.
first. Okay.
And it's been good so far, hasn't it?
100%. TJ's not a fighter. He's not ever like, I don't want to do that. Anytime I ask him to do something, the first time it gets done, like he's willing to work. He's willing to do whatever we ask. Like he's eager. He's hungry. He wants to be a superstar, like bigger than he already is. So like it's been motivational to see it on his side because I've been on the flip side where I've had artists that don't want to do anything and haven't done half of what he's done. So
that's good to hear.
No, it's a blessing.
I'm sure he's mentioned like Shaggy and
Oh yeah,
Champa,
no,
like,
Shaggy's on the calls with us. Like they're motivational to him. He looks up to them. He respects them. So it's crazy to see like being a kid listening to Shaggy and my mom playing him to being on calls with Shaggy is. I can't even express like the little Caribbean girl is like jumping out of me. Like it's crazy.
I said Bamba Clan.
She done said Bamba. What's the Honduras cuss word?
Honduras. I don't really know any Honduran ones, but in Belize we say rotted.
That's jumping.
No, we say that in Belize though. We say that in Belize. Yeah. Because Belize Patois and Creole is like very close together. It's very similar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rotted.
You're right.
What are your thoughts on the clash?
I'm sorry.
That happened with Teejay and Valiant.
I just think that
It's funny how
It's funny how that's where it sounds. Javi. I just think that.
Listen, I'm not promoting violence. I'm not promoting anything negative. Like I said earlier, I think that healthy competition is good. I think that people challenging each other to create better record after better record after better record, I think it's healthy. And it's a part of culture. Like it's known to be a part of culture. So
did they all step in and stop it?
No.
Okay.
So why it stopped?
We were busy.
Bullshit.
We were booked and busy.
Bullshit.
No. We were booked and busy.
Somebody at the book and busy.
We were released.
Somebody at the book and busy too.
Maybe not as much as us.
So the fix love drama. So the fix mix up.
Oh God.
pressure.
Sharon gonna kill me.
But so it was just.
No, we were. I know. Honestly, like when the records were coming out, we were literally in New York in the middle of a fitting, photo shoot. We were planning a release party. It was a lot of things going on
For the EP.
Yes, it was a lot of things going on. It was like just a super busy time frame. They're lucky they got those 2 records out of him.
Because if it was left up to you, it wouldn't have happened.
No, not that it wouldn't have happened. It's just we were busy. We were extremely busy.
Yeah.
Meaning, because if you're busy, why do it anyway? If you're so busy,
because it like at the end of it, when that last record came out, like everything was starting.
Yeah, so
it was before the build up.
Because you could say I was using it to promote EP as well.
No, not at all. We got enough promotion on our own.
He was using it to promote.
We got enough promotion on our own.
He was using it to promote the EP
Wait,
as
and
well.
you said you have enough promotion on your own, overseas or local?
Both. You see the billboards.
I see the billboards. How is it doing so far?
It's been doing great. Like Dip has been one of the strongest songs on the record.
It's like it really sounds like Drift, copy and paste.
It's not though. It's definitely an evolution of drift. So
Is that Drift 2.0?
No, it's dip in itself.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't fight you there. I won't fight you there.
I do like her.
Yeah, no, but there's another record that's one of my personal favorites. It's called Star, and his son Jaden is on it. It's a great record. So I'm very proud of Teejay.
Yeah.
That's cool there.
Escape reality. Me I try to maintain my sanity. Me know say them go judge me. I talk some song them sound like fuckery. But the time will tell. I'm missing a friend, I hype on friend. I tell each other who go dead.
I tour the world and buy a couple of vaccine. How me do it so fast? Everybody asks me. You have to smart, listen more and cut the talk. You have to watch the road to walk. You have to have dog heart. You have to rough, you can't solve. Them underestimate the boss.
It take time, wine pan it will be a long ride. Take up on the tip and bubble for the first smile. She grip it up, me feel the heaven inside. Then little after that, me want to see you get wild. Take it off if you want, see me fall. Just call for my phone.